Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new series. I know we left off our last video on a multiplayer modded Minecraft server, and even though I had 45 minutes of that video edited, unfortunately, I just couldn't stay on that long enough for me to not just have massive lag issues like in that video. So, yeah, I figured why not kind of go back to our roots on where we first started in a solo survival world. It is, for the most part, vanilla, except for just some things to allow me to run this better while recording, as well as the shaders, obviously. And there's also a twist, something that I have never done before. Can you figure it out? We are in my very first hardcore Minecraft world. I have never made one of these before. And the reason why I've never made one before is because I never really liked the idea of working hard to make something just to lose it. But after losing our original world, I figured it can't be that bad, right? Right? Hopefully, anyway. I know for hardcore Minecraft like series though, you're supposed to do some like massive structures in every video and whatnot, and we're not gonna do that. Maybe later, but just starting off, we're gonna go to our roots where we kind of take our time a little bit, a little bit. Um, I want to find a village. I really want to find a village. And the reason for that is I don't want to spend the first 10 days of being in this world just aimlessly mining. And for those of you who don't know, villagers offer something pretty special, and that is the ability to trade not just books, but also weapons, tools, and armor. So I figured, if we can get all that sorted out in the first, like, I don't know about 10 days, but maybe 25 days of this world, maybe pretty much set to go mining and gathering for the things that we would need to build a semi decent starter house. We're not gonna do a massive starter house. Just to get that clear, I I don't want to be building a massive starter house. Um, I think that's kind of just a waste. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the world seed, and we're gonna go towards a village, which hopefully they will have carrots and stuff because we will need to do a villager breeding area. And then that way we can, just have them breed and we can do multiple village trades. The most important one, though, for the first one is definitely going to be a Fletcher. And I say that because sticks, you can get a lot of emeralds with just sticks. So let me get our basic stuff ready real quick. And as we all know, wood tools are only good until you get stone. And since there's stone right here, we got full stone stuff. I just see gravel over here, which is going to be very important for making a Fletcher's table. So as long as we can get flint. All right, we got our flint. And now we need a bed. So let's see if we can find ourselves some sheep. All right, we got a bed, we got some food. And I think our first day in our first hardcore survival world is coming to an end. I know. I'm ashamed to all the hardcore survival worlds. Where's the massive house, right? Don't worry. We will eventually get there. I do have somewhat of an idea of what I would like to build, and that will be pretty big in itself. However, that's going to come more later. Not anywhere near like this episode or even the next, really. But we can do something decent, right? And honestly, I have no idea where I'm going. I still haven't grabbed the world seed. All right. I found a village. It is a little distance, but it's over this way. See you guys when we get there. We made it. Just in time too. The sun's about to set on our second day. This is actually a pretty decent sized village. So, in order to make a villager breeding area, we need a little bit of farmland and, well, space in general. So, we can probably use this, but for the crops that we need carrots. And I say that because carrots give you more per plant than wheat does. So it'll be a little bit more friendly for the villagers to, keep breeding with. Sounds a little weird, but it's better to get, 3 to 5 carrots than it is just to get 1 wheat. All we need to find is carrots. Is there even farm area over here? I don't see any farming area over here. That's kind of crazy, actually. Just a bunch of hay bales. Anything over here? Hey, okay, here we go. Now we just need carrots. Carrots, perfect, perfect. And we're gonna need a composter as well. Just one. And we will tear these down just so we can make ourselves some bread. Alright, so we got a food source, and we got some carrots. Perfect. Now I just need to find a video on a villager breeder. Alright, so I have found a video. It is by Real Jaden. I will link the video down below. I don't know if he's like the originator of this farm, but we're gonna be using it. It's a video that I found. Works for 1.21, which is what we're on. There are there's quite a few things that we need to grab. Um, you know, water buckets being one of those, meaning that I'm gonna have to kill these iron golems that were over here. Yeah, right here. So I'm gonna have to kill these guys. Yeah, the gold swords don't last all that long. I just need to kill, oh, I don't need to kill another one. Awesome. So that takes care of our, bucket problem. There we go. So we got, 1 bucket. We have our composter. Now I need like another stack. I need like a full stack of carrots. So we will go ahead and do that since the farm area is already set up over here anyway. Wait for those to grow. We need 3 beds, so I'm gonna need another bed. I'm gonna need, yeah, well, we can easily get those. Just by going in here, that's 1, 2. I need 2 1/4 stacks of glass. It's a lot of glass. Means I'm gonna need some coal. So I will have to do a little bit of mining. Not a problem. These carrots should grow relatively fast as long as he's not a farmer. I see coal up there. There should be some coal. That should be enough for all the sand we need, but yeah, that should be enough for all the sand we're gonna have to smelt down. I believe if we go back this way, we can find like little mini beach area. That should be enough sand, but as we know, never hurts to have extra. I don't like this area over here. All right. So after all that mining, we found diamonds, lots of redstone, some gold, lots of iron. Got more materials that we're gonna need for the capture system down there. Only downside is I need more string. I've only got 2 pieces, and I'm really hoping that I can make a string duplicator that only needs 2 string. I'm gonna try and find a video. Found a video. Well, a short. It is by Minecrafter Joe. I'm watching it on my phone, but I'm going to try and save the short so I can post it in the description. That was honestly a little bit more difficult than I'd like to admit. Hey, you got string. I'm just gonna let this go for a second. We will never need as much string as this thing is making, to be quite honest. Yeah, we'll just we'll just stop that. That's crazy. So yeah, so the trick to this is yeah, that's we're never gonna need this much string. That's just insane. You gotta place that, and then you break this with the shears, and then flip this quickly. Okay. See, exactly. Exactly. See, it doesn't always work. So you place that, then you place the lever, then you flip it twice. Super quick. Yeah, it's a little tricky. All right, so we got all this planted now. Now we just need to let it grow. Yeah, so this is the first time I've ever made a string duper. Ever needed one before, and honestly, we should never need string ever again. Unless one of these guys trades string for emeralds, or emeralds for string. I've never seen that happen before, but, you know. I have made one of these before. Similar design. Pretty much the same design. Obviously, villager breeders are kind of necessary. Sugarcane farm, no biggie. This, I don't know what we're gonna do with this, to be honest. Sugarcane farm so we can make paper. Easy. Enough said with that, right? I need a dispenser. But first, I need to make a bow. So we will do this. All right, so that was a little tricky. This one did not want to come inside the garden. Uh, It's really a cage, but we're gonna call it a garden. We do have our first, little villager down there. It's good for us. These guys, I think, will produce once or twice a day. So we should be able to get our first little villager down here. However, I want to make sure that they trade sticks, and in the meantime, I still don't. We don't need this much string. Does it still work? It still works. We don't need any more string. I do want to set up a spot for this. I want to get at least like 4 dudes that trade sticks. I think one of them even trades paper. Or I think a cartographer would trade paper. Which would be awesome. It's kind of why I set the sugarcane farm up. Yeah. So, let's, I'm gonna try and figure that out, actually. I'm just waiting for this guy to grow up. He should theoretically get dragged out into here and then put up here. And then all I gotta do is come down here, press this button, and he should zoom right on up into here. I can place down a trading table. Guess I probably should have had this continue on into there. Let me grab one more. Yeah, there they go. There they go. They're gonna make another kid. Good for us. He's gonna find the bed. Goes down into there. And boom, now we got 2. The good thing about this little system is that in here we have minecarts. So, I don't know why I made so many. One would have been fine. Whatever. So it'll only ever grab 1 villager at a time. Bring them right on up in here. And I mean, he'll stop right here, which is fine. I added the door so I can get in. And yeah. We just won't take him out of the thing until we get a trade that we want. I'm gonna see, though, if we can get emeralds for paper. Yeah. The cartographer will trade paper for emeralds. Alright, so honestly, I think we can expand on this. We can probably just push this, or like get rid of all of this and then push it out this way, since we're gonna need quite a bit of sugarcane. Let's check on these guys. Have any of them grown up yet? Doesn't. Wow, there's already 3 in there. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, I think I saw one. I think I saw them just make another. I'm just really curious as to how this is gonna work. Hey, it worked. Awesome. I just wish it would stop raining. Alright, let's test this out. I want to see exactly how well we can make this work. Alright, so I did do quite a bit off camera. And all the stuff that I did off camera was just boring things. Mining, which you already saw. I set up this little tree farm over here, which I say farm, but I really just planted some birch trees. What's up, little bee? Distractions. And then I also did this. Yeah, a lot of digging. This took about 3 hours to dig out and complete. I know we got boring cobblestone up here, but whatever. Up top, though, which you will be a little proud of me, I actually patched up with dirt. So, you know, it doesn't look pretty, but it looks a lot nicer than seeing cobblestone down there. We need to sleep. Which I kind of want to bring up a point of doing things off camera. Uh, if I, if you guys want to see the process of things like this, you know, just let me know. I'll probably just end up doing it in future videos anyway. I did record myself doing it, but I didn't do it through the replay mod. Um, it honestly like hit me. I did all this last night. Hey, it grew. I don't know if these are gonna grow 3 tall. The roof is like 3.5 blocks technically, like full blown is 3. Yeah. I also found out that these guys, once they hit Journeyman, can trade string. So this little string duper up here is gonna come in handy, and I'll probably just have this flow all the way down, or I might just remake this. Honestly, it's pretty simple. I might just remake it right here. Uh, that way I can just grab the string and, you know, just do a bunch of trades. Just leave it running and all that. But we are missing a very important item that I would like to address. In order to get, you know, the gear and the stuff that we need, or that we want, really, so we don't have to go mining more for it, because even though I'm a rat, I think we all know how much I don't like to mine. It's one of the most. I know. It's called Minecraft, right? You're supposed to mine then craft, but I want to automate things. The least I have to do, the happier I'd be. Ironically enough. Not to say I'm gonna be lazy with it. We are gonna do some fun things, but mining is just not fun. Like I enjoy the exploring and all that good stuff. But for us to be able to do what I would like to get done in this first episode, we need to do some more things. And yeah. So over here, I'm going to tear down these after I make some more Fletchers. You know what? I want to see if I can just get this guy to be a Fletcher. I'm kind of all over the place right now. I spent like a total of 8 hours just getting this and doing all that and mining, and everything's starting to blur together right now. Yeah. I know I'm mentioning the time, but like I always stated, I want you guys to appreciate the amount of time that goes into doing something like this. And here we go. Okay. It only took me about 10 minutes. No, we got 5 of these guys that trade string now. I already went through all their trades. So no more stick trades, thankfully. Yep. I need an iron farm. I need iron. The iron farm that I'm gonna make is the same one in, you know, our previous survival world. Nothing fancy, but after I clear these trees, that should leave me with enough flat room over here. I may end up having to clear out or like patch this up just so I can use it. And the reason why you really want to have a flat area is because you don't want any chance of golems spawning anywhere except for the platform. I'm gonna go ahead finish up my trades with those guys and then clear out these trees, clear out all of this, cleaning all this, clear out some more of these trees, patch all this up. Alright, I'm gonna get to it. It's done. They all found their beds. I don't know if golems will spawn on that little glass tower there. I don't think they should. Glass is a non-spawnable item, like block, right? I added that though, just so I can have easier access to the chest. There are 5 in there, and all 5 of them. There we go. Look at that. Now we just gotta wait. And while we wait, there is something else that I need. We need, I guess, or we should have. I mean, this place is already kind of turning into our little industrial district, isn't it? It's kind of weird. 5 iron. Hey, that's 5 more than we had before. I know that when we went mining, we had like almost a full stack of iron, but I was not paying attention and used them all to make rails. We need wood. And if I'm being very honest, I despise having to chop down trees. It is such a nuisance. It takes forever. It costs a lot. And I'm just over it. If I'm being I'm tired of it. I don't want to have to chop down another tree if I don't have to. Obviously that means making a farm. And while I definitely can, by the way, all these are slabs. So while I definitely can make a tree farm, there's kind of a very important ingredient that we are missing, or a few that we're missing. We need a TNT duper. So that brings me back to the TNT problem. We need gunpowder. I can get sand. Sand's not a problem. But we need gunpowder. And cats work out really well when it comes to creeper farms. And I know the creeper farm seems pretty specific. I don't really need an XP farm. I don't really need any redstone as of right now. We're pretty set. I believe we still have about a stack and a half. Could have sworn we had some leads. Oh well. Now I gotta figure out if a villager trades leads. Only wandering traders. I don't really know how they spawn though. I thought it was pretty random. Guess we don't really need leads for this, do we? I don't know. I'd have to find a video. I haven't made a creeper farm in a very long time. I've just never had the need for mass amounts of TNT, but really just need a little bit of TNT. All right. Didn't get a whole lot of this patched up. I can't use slabs, unfortunately, for this part because the creepers do need to spawn on a flat surface. And I have to bring this like all the way over here, essentially. So that means I got to take it up to that edge, clear out the rest of these trees. But I need more filler material. And I really don't feel like going mining. So we're gonna make a cobblestone generator. Alright, it's built. So I did a thing and I updated the world to 1.21.4. I really wanted the white wood, um, especially for future builds. I was gonna do 1.21.5, however, replay mod, which is the one that allowed me to do the time lapse, is not updated to 1.21.5 yet. fact, it hasn't received an update in like 4 months. So 1.21.4 is pretty much the same, right? As you can tell, land's all flattened. I know it's not pretty, but whatever. It's pretty much our industrial district anyway right now. However, I do want to build the TNT farm or creeper farm. And I'm pretty sure, like 99% positive, that I have all the materials that I need to make this farm. So, in order to make this farm, though, there is one important thing that I'm missing. And, it's cats. And if you guys know anything about cats in real life, they run away. Unless you have food or treats. And in this case, these cats will run away unless we have fish. All right. I think we have enough fish. I don't think they eat puffer fish, but they definitely eat raw salmon and raw cod. And I think we have enough. We only need like 4 cats, so not as bad. I'm not sure how efficient this farm is, but we will find out. I'm just gonna put this in here. Don't need that quite yet. All right, let's get building. I'd be lying if I said this doesn't make me in the slightest bit nervous. I'm scared. I don't like being up this high. So I found a tree farm that doesn't require honey or slime blocks, nor does it require deadfin coral fans. However, it does require something that I already knew I was going to have to get, and that is observers. Not a lot, just a few. I think it's like 5. And for those of you who don't know, the only way you can make an observer is with quartz. And the only way you can get quartz is going into the nether. However, if you take a look at me, still wearing the same gold armor that I found on a broken portal, like, behind me that way. This is definitely not going to cut it, nor is our trusty little stone sword, which we are going to keep, by the way. We're not going to use it, but we're going to keep it. It's a monument to the length of time this has taken me so far, which, honestly, I think I've spent maybe a total of 30-ish hours, just maybe 35, doing all this. And we still have more to go for this video. We're not done yet. Which, honestly, is pretty cool. I'm actually enjoying this this process. A little stressful, you know, a little stressful, but worth it. And yeah, before we go into the nether, though, I want to get a diamond armor, which means I have to get, I also want to get a diamond sword. So I have to get a armor smith which requires a blast furnace, which I can make, and I need to get a weaponsmith, which requires a grinder, which I can also make. But I don't want to put them in there with our emeralds gatherers. So I'm thinking we clear out this area, flatten it out a little bit. And since I'm only going to need one of each, I think we can make it relatively small. Just kind of clear this out and give them a slightly open space. I would like to make a honey farm eventually, just not right now. I'm trying to focus on the things that we absolutely need. And that brings me to the next point as I'm eating. We also need more food. So I'm thinking we also get a butcher. So I think that's a smoker. And we also put him over here. We will make a honey farm, just not right now. We don't need honey. So I'm going to get to it. I don't think I have the materials though. You know what? I think I got plenty of materials. It's not going to be massive. Just needs to be functional. This should be sufficient enough. Hopefully. I know it's a little bit deep, but, you know, give them a little bit of space. A little bit more than them anyway. Alright. Fully kitted out with diamond. And, next up is weaponsmith. Alright. Diamond sword acquired. Now we just need food. We got a lot of, chicken from that. I'm happy with this. I am very nervous about this. I don't like going into the nether in general. And, you know, just for some precautions, the last thing that I want is for our portal to get blown up. So I see quartz. Lots of bone blocks. That's good. Honestly, I think that's enough quartz for what we need. All right. I'm actually pretty happy with that. We got some soul sand, soul soil. I think, yeah, plenty of this. That's good. I think this should be enough quartz for what we need. I know that we need a few comparators as well. If I have to go back, which I'm hoping I won't have to, at least not yet, then we'll have to go back. Until then, let me gather up all the materials and find a place where we are going to build this thing. Alright, as for the place, I think what I'll do is level this out to be even with this. That'll also give us a lot more dirt and some more wood. And I think this will be good. I'll just need a big enough area. I don't know how big this tree farm is. So yeah, I'm just gonna clear this out. Alright. It's all flattened out for the most part. I believe this area right here is going to be big enough for it. I found a video. Now I just have to gather all the materials, which thankfully I'm pretty sure that I have everything except for the hoppers and the pistons and the observers, which are all craftable. So let's see. So I gathered up most of the materials. I am missing scaffolding, so I gotta find bamboo. and TNT, which yeah, that's not going to be hard. And also some kelp. And I couldn't tell if it was soul soil or soul sand in the video, which the one that I'm going to be following, by the way, is by N. Collier. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but I will definitely post the video that I am following in the description. All right, I think we got enough bamboo. Now, a spruce forest is even further north. And I just found a bunch of kelp, so we should be good on that. We made it. We are incredibly far from our little industrial district. We made it back unscathed. I found dark oak forest, spruce forest, and even the pale something. All right, let's get to it. It's done. At least the tree farm portion. I don't know if you guys know, but in order to grow trees, you need bone meal. And while, yes, I do have the bone blocks that I can turn into bone meal, that's not going to cut it. I do not want to have to worry about ever running out of bone meal, because I would like to be able to just go at this for an hour or two, and you know, we can obviously expand on the storage here. And yeah, and I think for the three main types, you can use this. This will just be like bulk whatever. But the three main types of wood that we are going to be using is spruce, oak, and birch. So we'll probably just expand the storage on this quite a bit. And then we can also do that. We have plenty of iron, I believe. I've been seeing that go while I've been making this. So while we have this portion of the farm down, I need to make a bone meal farm. And in order to have the bone meal kind of go over, you need ice. And in order to get ice, you need silk touch. There's a lot of things that we need just to get this one farm going. But honestly, I think this is going to be really worth it. I know I wasn't recording when I did all of this, but yeah, I made a slime farm. I needed slime for sticky pistons, slime blocks, and I needed all that just to make a bone meal farm. I was originally going to use a pretty big one that would have made like 8,000 an hour, but honestly, for the purpose that we need it for, a big overkill. Plus, it honestly would have taken just so many materials to make. So, I made a simple slime farm. It's, you know, nothing too fancy. In the ocean, there's, I can't show it to you unless I go down there. But yeah. let's see how much slime we have. I AFK'd here for about 30 minutes. And by the way, this isn't even the first one that I made. I will show you the first one that I made, and it's such a disappointment. So we just go down here. I got my trap door to keep the water from going. What you heard there were drowned. This more than what we need. The first one that I made only produced a singular slime ball. But yeah, so up there is the AFK platform. I'm not going up there. Up there is the AFK platform. So same thing as in the other slime farm. You have this room. It's you know, one, you find the slime chunk. This is the slime chunk. You dig two out in every direction. Surrounding this are magma blocks, and then it's all closed off with rails going through. This is dug out for redstone blocks for powered rails to keep the minecart moving. You have chests, and then a hopper, and then a little unloading system right here. Yeah, pretty simple, really. And it's the exact same over there, just closed off. We should almost have everything to build a moss farm or bone meal farm. I made the moss farm or bone meal farm. I didn't do this on camera. I didn't even do a recording of it just because it was honestly kind of a pain in the neck. This moss farm is by Chapman Farms. I will link the video in the description. Very intuitive. You know, he did his best. I've seen some of his other farms. They're pretty good. This one is working. However, it's not the fastest thing ever. This farm is strictly for bone meal. And it's been running for maybe 30 minutes now, including the primer, which the priming was getting 41 bone meal in there. This is what we've got. Not bad. Not great. Not bad. You know, it just kind of is what it is. It is very loud. I'm going to leave this to run for another hour or so. See exactly how much we can get in this system. All right, so I let this run for about 30 minutes, and it doesn't. It's about one stack every 10 minutes, so it's not great. Honestly, it's not that great. However, I really want to try this out, and let's make sure we have bone meal on. We flip that switch. That's not good. Alright, let's turn this off. Let's turn that off. So I not only broke the dirt, but what this tells me is I built the TNT duper one block too high. It works. I was just messing it up. I had the timings on the repeaters wrong. So I just ran this for a few... Oh my god. That was only like maybe 7 solid minutes. That is absolutely insane. I would love to be able to recycle these, though, into the composters, because if you notice up here, this bone meal farm is not really able to keep up. I may just end up having to make that bigger bone meal farm. Just not right now. We did quite a lot so far, and honestly, with the amount of bone meal that we have left, I feel pretty confident that we should be able to at least get the last bits of whatever wood that we need. I'll just have to AFK for a bit, let this fill back up, and but I'll do that in between. But so far, for just like a few minutes of running this thing continuously, that's really impressive. But yeah, this isn't too bad. I wish this would produce a little bit more, but I kind of knew it when I went into building it. I was hoping the rates would have been a little bit better. Yeah, I can't modulate this either because the way to get bone meal underneath would just be too much of a pain in the neck. And plus, I think I do have the materials needed now to build the bigger bone meal farm. Just like I said, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe. I might. Well, we'll see. Uh yeah. Maybe I might end up just doing the bigger bone meal farm in this episode. It's already like 45 minutes long. What's an hour and a half, right? Maybe 2 hours for a first Survival World series episode. We haven't even built like a base. I need a better bone meal farm. We need a better bone meal farm. This is definitely not going to cut it. Pretty far out from our area. I'm trying to get some powdered snow. Yeah. Sunset's pretty nice though. Alright, go to sleep and then you know, get back to finding the powdered snow. We came all the way over here for 1 bucket of powdered snow. Now to make the journey back. Also, lots of ice for conveyors. And I killed the squid. It's gonna take me like 30 minutes to get back. Yay! We made it back. And with this powdered snow bucket, we have everything needed to make this farm. Down to the 8 buckets of lava. Traveled all that way for some powdered snow. We also got some ice along the way, so that's a plus. I just have to remember to, yeah, I should, mend that. Just have to remember to use Silk Touch. Easy enough. Alright, I'm gonna get building this thing. yeah, it's done. I also did this just to be able to collect the bone meal. The video said that it should only take an hour, but it took me like 4. Yeah. This farm, by the way, is by the archivists. I will link that down in the description below, as well as the original one that I used, because that one is good if you just need a little bit of bone meal. But I need a ton, and I ran this for like 30 minutes. And yeah, this was all in just like 30 minutes, including what's in here and in here. So, needless to say, we should be good on bone meal, especially if I just leave this running while I'm in the general vicinity. And which we are going to leave this running anyway. I don't care for the sound of the note blocks, but there are a few things that I would like to do, and one of them is some sort of item filters right here. I do have them set up for just bone meal. I mean, I have them set up. I just haven't like activated them yet because I wanted to test this out. Most of what we get is just bone meal anyway. This over here, I was originally going to set up for whatever drops out of there, but pretty much all the excess stuff just kind of, falls on top, or, if we show the hitboxes, it'll launch out over here. So while it is super efficient, it could be just a little bit more efficient, but honestly, for a full double chest in just 30 minutes, I'm not complaining. This was just kind of like a concept, but I'm going to take this down because I want to set up a storage system over here for the logs, and that will be its own like water stream. And yeah, because I don't really want to, I mean, I'm going to have to change these out no matter what, but I would like whatever goes into the chest to just automatically sort out, so I'm not having to do that manually. Especially since we're going to be using 3 different types, and I'm not going to go all out like this. I just have all of these chests because I plan on leaving this running for quite a while, plus for like any other future tree farms that we end up doing. But yeah, that was quite a thing to do. For you guys, the time lapse was like a few minutes, but for me, it was literally, including tearing down the old one, it was like almost 5 hours worth of work. But I learned a lot. I kind of understand how this all works. It's just using sticky pistons and the slime blocks. Water flows into the crevice there. The lava on top automatically turns it to stone. Bone meal gets ticked up. Whatever bone meal gets made falls down into here. And yeah, into our silo right there. So I'm going to go ahead and make the storage system for this. It's not going to be this massive. I'm probably just going to do like 1 slice per wood. Yeah, see right here, the moss just drops. This is what I just had in my inventory anyway. Yeah, so I'll probably just do like 1 slice, but I'll still do 5. And I want to take any excess. I want to just keep like 1 single chest worth of spruce saplings, or like saplings in general. But whatever is left over, I would like to get made into excess bone meal and just dropped right back up into here. So that way we just have a consistent flow of bone meal. I don't know why I sorted out the sticks. Sticks are going to be good, I guess, for the trading hall. So, maybe we'll just do chest for sticks as well. I'm probably going to do like two slices for sticks. You know, since our string farm is busted anyway. And yeah, so I'm going to get going on this. I'm not going to record it or do a time lapse. I don't even know what I'm going to be, like, how I'm going to do it anyway. So, you know, see you guys when it's done. This tree farm's been working like a charm. I even organized this over here, just an extra chest for if I do more redstone stuff. Got our tree stuff. I built this little contraption here. I think I already showed this, but I actually revised it. You saw the original one. So now the bone meal just drops, goes through here, goes in through here, loads these up. And then eventually when there's any excess, which I don't think there ever will be, it drops down into here, into this stream, and we'll go into either into these columns here, these 4 columns. I don't know what's in, I don't remember what I put in here. Oh no, these 3 columns, because these 2 are for spruce. These 3 are for bone meal. These are for the birch, oak, and then just sticks. Which down here, I know it's very crude. It's not pretty, but it works. When we do a proper like thing, it will look a lot nicer. So these 3 chests, so all the wood will go into here. It gets spat out there. This is all the extra like saplings that we're not going to use. It gets turned into bone meal, and then there's a hopper in here. Yep. So then this hopper right here. So yeah, all the bone meal gets spat into this hopper, into here, and then spat out into here. So I don't think, yeah. So I don't have anything to like demonstrate it, unfortunately. But I can do is this. So whenever wood gets dropped into here, it gets spat out. I just have it on a auto spitter. It's pretty quick. Not the fastest thing in the world, but definitely works for the applications. I decided not to build any more farms. For right now anyway. I have gathered up all the materials that I need to build our house, which is right in those 2 double chests over there. I'm not going to show you the material list, but you will see the building. And yeah, you know, I am pretty happy though. I know this is like just been an hour of me doing farms and stuff, but you know, we got a villager breeder. That's 1. We did the iron farm. That's 2. Then we did this farm, the gunpowder. 3. Built a moss farm. That was 4. Built this tree farm. That's 5. And then I built this monstrosity that just didn't work of a slime farm. That was 6. Built a working slime farm. 7. Tore down our original moss farm and built this. So that's 8. And you know, I got some storage system over there for all the wood and the gunpowder or gunpowder, bone meal. Uh, Organized our chests. I know where everything is at for the most part. And now, I think it is time that we travel to our new destination. However, if you can tell by my inventory list right here, we're gonna do it through the nether roof. Yeah, I'm not traveling that far on land. It's not really even all that far, to be quite honest. But it'll just make things easier for transporting materials. But in order to do that, I have to break bedrock. And if you guys know anything about breaking bedrock, it's always a little nerve-wracking. However, if I cannot break the bedrock, I'm bringing obsidian. So that way we don't end up getting stuck there. That would just imagine, right? Just imagine getting stuck up on the nether roof. Always a little nerve-wracking. All right, so we do this. We have to place our trapdoor like so. That's pretty much it. So we are facing east, and essentially, it just like overloads it, and we'll know if this worked because well, the piston will be facing this way. If it's facing down, we failed. So I'm gonna get this ready. TNT out of my hand first of all. Make sure my hand's empty just to be on the safe side, except for just a piston. So once we pull that lever, I have to place this piston here. But in order to do that, I got to switch my keybind from my... So I have my thing ready, and there goes nothing. little nerve-wracking, right? So I got to pull this. Come over here and just hold down my key, and not a problem. So I would bring extras. I think that worked. And boom, bedrock has been broken. So, change my keybind back. So, we need to write down these coordinates. This is the block that we need to break. So, if we do this, hopefully correct this time. I brought all these extra materials just because I wasn't too sure if I was going to need them or not. So, that's a block that we need to break. Boom. Right. 174 by 403. Yep. But we need to be facing west or east. That's right. Place that up there, like so. Redstone dust, 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 dust. Get ourselves primed. Changed our keybind. Boom. And I think that worked. There we go. Perfect. All right. So I just dug down a little bit. Let me place ladders here. Perfect. Now, I don't know where we are going to spawn in because when you do portal linking, it's kind of different if you start from the other side and then build a portal up. So we will have to do that. Just not right now. This should work, right? Oh, it looks a little weird. We have reached our destination. I leveled it out, cleared out the trees. This is going to be the amount of space we need. And this is actually pretty much perfect. We will terraform this Not in this episode, to be quite honest. We'll probably do it in the next one. This is the amount of space that we're gonna need. These leaves will decay, and yeah. So without further ado, let's get building. All right. We finished it. Isn't this just awesome? I'm very proud of this. This took me about 5 hours to make. I do want to apologize for the 10 minutes of audio that was kind of bad. I didn't realize just how bad the audio was. And I know in the time lapse some things were skipped. I'm working on trying to be better with the actual like replay mod editor with the, have you noticed the well, if I can speak, if you noticed that I was like doing the whole camera turn and stuff like that, working on that. Yeah, this took me about 5 hours to build. I went through about 8 different like iterations of this whole building in a creative world. Went through different shapes, sizes, heights, different layouts. And yeah, I settled on this, and I have to say I am very happy with it. I'm just I'm just so stoked. I think it turned out really good. I know the building of this wasn't in the time lapse. This was one of the things I think I just hit paused and didn't hit start again. Yeah, this I'm just really thrilled. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I do. I hope this gives you a sense of an idea of the future builds that I'm going to be doing around here. You know, I'm really stoked. I'm really happy. I know I'm a little monotone with it, but I hope it actually like just shows through on how stoked I am with how this build turned out. Yeah, all that work that we put through in the first hour and like 15 minutes of this video was for this. It was all for this. And for what's to come too. There's definitely way more to come. I didn't do the interior decorating yet. We will do that in future videos. And I already have an idea for what I'm going to do to connect this to over here. I'm sure you can figure it out. We're going to be building a bridge. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I know I'm saying it's like, "Oh my god, this is like the best thing ever." And while it may not be, I don't really like consider myself a builder. So, just being able to come up with something like this, I know it may seem kind of generic, but just to be able to come up with something like this myself and being able to gather the materials and build it in survival, nonetheless hardcore survival, I'm very proud of myself. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will patch this up once we get an actual way to, you know, get down. And we'll terraform a little bit more. Distractions. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.